Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News Midday starts now.
Good morning and thanks for watching 23 ABC News at 11 a.m. I'm Alyssa Flores in for Mike Hart.
I'm Danielle Kernkamp. This morning, aftershocks continue to rattle eastern Kern County as thousands of aftershocks have been reported in the wake of Friday's 7.1 earthquake, which was one of the largest in California's history.
Yeah, take a look at these graphics. This is the active fault lines in central and southern California.
Yeah, let's get a closer look at the quakes that have shaken the area over the last 4 days. These are all the quakes that were registering at a magnitude 5 or above, and these are all the quakes that registered in at a 3 or above. You can see this belt of activity in eastern Kern County and parts of San Bernardino County. The last quake just coming about 5 minutes ago in the area of Trona. That was recorded at a 3.8.
Of course, the Ridgecrest region.
And of course, the Ridgecrest region hit with not only that 7.1 on Friday, but also a 6.4 on Thursday. Luckily, no deaths or injuries reported. There has been some damage, but officials say as of now, it is relatively minimal considering the amount of aftershocks that we've seen. Right now, experts saying that the activity is likely to continue for the foreseeable future.
And here's a view of the earthquake damage from above. The video is posted on KCSO's Twitter page and taken by their air support unit. Take a closer look. This is a view of the damage from The line you can see on the desert floor was caused by the earth moving. Caltrans is currently in the process of repairing this highway and other roads impacted by the recent quakes. Construction is set to last through the end of the week. According to Caltrans Interim Director Bob Franzola, he signed an emergency order allocating $3.1 million for needed repairs. This video was captured this weekend after both of those big quakes.
Let's bring Elena in now. Get a check of the forecast on this Monday morning.
Yes, I have a lot of people asking me, oh, does the weather, it being hot, have anything to do with earthquakes? You'll hear people talk about shake and bacon. It's just an old wives' tale. Atmospheric weather high up in the sky and fault lines and plate tectonics deep down in the ground do not have a correlation with one another. Let's take a look outside at high pressure in control out off the coast and also here near the Four Corners region. So that keeps all of these systems moving on shore to our north. This is the latest one that swept through with that weak cold front yesterday. That's why we saw the high thin clouds and it felt a little humid. And now we have some cooler air moving in behind that system. So we are still enjoying some clear skies, some calm weather with temperatures down a few degrees from yesterday. And later this afternoon, they'll be down a few degrees below average. 70s for the North County and over on the west side, 82 in Bakersfield, Maricopa at 80, 60s in those South Mountains, low 70s in Tehachapi and into Isabella at this hour. And you see that little bit of a breeze that will continue to stay breezy today. So we'll go from sunny, this is supposed to say, and nice weather for the next couple hours to the low 90s with a bit of a breeze. That's about 15 to 25 miles an hour at most, which gives us moderate air quality. We'll talk about how these 90s will affect tomorrow's forecast and what that next system in the Pacific will be doing coming up.
The USGS says there is a 5% chance a bigger earthquake can strike Kern County within the next several days. So residents in Kern County are not taking any chances. Thousands stocking up on essential supplies at our local retailers.
23 ABC's Daniela Garrido is live with the very latest on local supplies. Daniela.
Good morning. Like you guys said, definitely no one is taking chances this time. I've been at the Costco on Rosedale since 9:45 this morning, 15 minutes before they planned to open at 10 a.m. And this was packed with people, many of them saying they were coming just for water. I actually spoke with one man who said he survived that 1994 Northridge earthquake. He said he wasn't prepared that time and doesn't want that to happen again. He actually planned to be here at Costco at 10 a.m. when the doors opened, but said that he was running a little bit late, and therefore when he was able to get inside, he noticed that the shelves were low on water supplies. He also said he was limited to only buying 4 cases. He does plan on coming again later in the day to buy 4 more cases and hopefully meet his limit of 10 cases later on. But Costco does say that they hope they don't run out as they did yesterday. They ran out about twice, and they say that today they're actually stocking up on more water supplies, getting more trucks to come in with water. We also reached out to Winco, who says they are doing the same. For now, I'm live in Northwest Bakersfield. Daniela Garrido, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
Daniela, thank you. And as you can imagine, the Ridgecrest community is still on edge following those quakes that continue to rock the community. 23 ABC's Emma Lockhart has a look at how residents are dealing with the mental health aspect of those massive earthquakes.
I don't know how to help her. I'm not I'm not a mental health counselor, and I don't know how to ease her fears that she's going to be hurt in an earthquake.
Ridgecrest local and mother of 3, Danielle Mao, feeling helpless, looking for ways to comfort her 9-year-old daughter who is traumatized from the 7.1 magnitude earthquake that rocked Ridgecrest Friday.
Every time someone jiggles the bed or walks through the house, she jumps up and cries, "Is it an earthquake?" And we have to find some way to reassure her that every time there's a movement in a mobile home, it's not an earthquake.
The big quake jolting the region the day after a 6.4 earthquake struck in the same area. With thousands of aftershocks recorded since then, anxiety is heightened, forcing Mao to now seek professional help for her daughter.
It's not going to be like an overnight fix, that it's going to take a while to get her back to good. You know, I just want my kids to feel comfortable in their own rooms again.
Mao not alone in wishing for some sense of normalcy in the aftermath of the quakes.
Trying to figure out what I can do to get a roof back over our head in the future, and I've literally put every penny I have into this place, and I've only lived in it for 4 months now. It's just crazy that everything's just gone out of nowhere.
Joseph Malovich is a single father of 3. His mobile home in the Trousdale Estates destroyed along with everything inside, with the fear of another earthquake emotionally draining him.
I can tell you I'm terrified. Like, I'm beyond scared of what could happen, and you know, I just hope for the best and for everybody. It's scary right now.
But for those suffering, help is in Ridgecrest. Current behavioral health officials are on the ground, guiding people to resources at the College Community Service.
They provide mental health services in regards for children and adults with psychiatric service, which is the medication, mental health therapy. They can also link you to services such as a case manager.
Experts saying anxiety surrounding these quakes is a normal response, urging people to talk to each other and their children about how they are feeling. And as the people of Ridgecrest move on with their lives, some have a long road ahead of them.
Mentally and physically and emotionally get through all this, yes, it's going to take a lot for everybody in this town to get through what's happened to us.
That was 23 ABC's Emma Lockhart. The jury continues to try and decide whether or not the death penalty will go to a man convicted of killing a Florida nanny. Here's a preview.
Good afternoon. I'm Yorita Walde. The penalty phase of the Scott Nelson trial resumed this morning with testimony from mental health expert Dr. Valerie McLean. The defense called her to try to convince the jury that Nelson should get life instead of death for the murder of Jennifer Fulford. During an outburst in court last week, Nelson hinted that he wanted to testify again. Belvin Perry, the former judge in the Casey Anthony case, says he believes there's a strategy behind Nelson's outbursts.
He's also tried to play lawyer in this particular case, and I think he's doing that now, where he's trying to say that because of his, quote, mental condition, that he is unable to conform to the requirements of the law. The judge has given him specific orders to follow. He has not followed those orders. Now, do I think it will work? No, I think it would damage him, but I think that's what he's doing.
The state will put on a rebuttal case and then closing arguments. The case could be in the hands of the jury as early as tomorrow. That's the latest for now. Court TV will keep following any new developments. Now back to you.
Still to come here at 11 a.m., President Trump says he's upset with reports from the southern border. Details on how he's responding when we come back. Welcome back. President Trump is dismissing new reports about the conditions inside migrant border facilities, calling the claims phony and exaggerated.
ABC's Mona Kassar Abdi is in Washington with more.
As reports of unsafe and unsanitary conditions inside migrant detention facilities pile up, President Trump is defending the centers and praising the Border Patrol agents who oversee them.
The job that they are doing is incredible.
The president calling the latest joint investigation by the New York Times and El Paso Times a hoax. According to the papers, the investigation included dozens of interviews from current and former Border Patrol agents and others familiar with the facilities who recounted, quote, outbreaks of scabies, shingles, and chickenpox spreading among the hundreds of children who were being held in cramped cells. And, quote, the stench of children's dirty clothing so strong it spread to agents' own clothing. Accounts President Trump says are exaggerated.
The New York Times story is a fabrication.
And claiming migrants inside the facilities came from extreme poverty and are actually better off.
Those are people that are very happy with what's going on because, relatively speaking, they're in much better shape right now.
But just last week, the Homeland Security Department's own Inspector General releasing these images showing some adults packed into standing room only cells for up to a week. On ABC's This Week, DHS acting head Kevin McAleenan refuted the internal report.
Because there's adequate food and water, because the facility's cleaned every day, we have no evidence that children went hungry.
Both McAleenan and Trump acknowledge there is overcrowding, which the president blamed on Democrats.
And they've got to change the loopholes and they have to change the asylum.
And President Trump also says deportation rates targeting thousands of migrant families will take place, quote, fairly soon. This after his deadline for congressional action on immigration expired over the weekend. Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, Washington.
It looks like a billionaire known for his high-profile efforts to impeach President Trump is jumping into the 2020 race. Tom Steyer told his staff he will join the long list of Democrats bidding for the Oval Office. This news comes just months after Steyer publicly announced he would not run so he could focus on ousting the president. The hedge fund manager and Democratic fundraiser is bankrolling an organization dedicated to the effort. He even starred in self-funded TV commercials asking Congress to impeach the president. Details on when the official announcement may happen have not been released.
USA Today reports Walmart is using virtual reality technology to help decide which workers deserve promotions. The company is using the technology to test how employees handle both routine and high-stress situations. These tests can help hiring managers decide who deserves more responsibility. Walmart is the nation's largest private employer. It first introduced virtual reality as a training tool in 30 Walmart academies 2 years ago. According to the report, 10,000 employees have now used the technology.
An airline faces a record fine for failing to protect customers' personal information. The United Kingdom slapped British Airways with a $230 million penalty. Authorities say people accessing the British Airways website in June 2018 were diverted to a fake page. Attackers were able to get payment information, travel details, and login information for nearly 500,000 customers. The airline reported the breach in September 2018. It plans to fight that fine.
An American scientist is missing on the Greek island of Crete. Suzanne Eaton's employer said she was last seen on Tuesday, July 2nd, while attending a conference. Police say Eaton is an avid runner and believe she went on a run, as all of her items are still in her room, but her running shoes are gone. The 59-year-old is a molecular biologist with the Max Planck Institute at Dresden University in Germany. Searching for Suzanne Facebook campaign is hoping to uncover leads. Eaton's employer said her loved ones are offering $56,000 to anyone that can find information that leads to her. All right, switching gears now, we're gonna head over to Elena. Take a look outside.
Yeah, so we had that system coming on shore yesterday. The next one out in the Pacific, not a winter storm, but on the satellite imagery, it looks like one. It's beautiful, and the futurecast is going to keep it to the north. But with these back-to-back systems, we do have a little bit of a breeze. See how it's 19 miles an hour in Tehachapi, 15 in Mojave. We're not going to need a wind advisory today, but we are seeing enough of a breeze to take those temperatures down and push out some of the pollution too. We're down 7 degrees in Delano from this time yesterday, down 5 degrees here in Bakersfield from 24 hours ago. Jawbone Canyon down 6. So not much, but again, any cooling that we get, we'll take, right? Because it keeps us in the low 80s right now as you're getting ready to head out the door to lunch maybe. Some 70s in Delano and McFarland, still 78 base of the Grapevine. Fraser Park 68, Tehachapi 72, Isabella 73. Just fantastic weather for those higher elevations. That breeze coming down keeps Jawbone Canyon at 67 still further out Ridgecrest here at 90, and they'll keep on warming as this system to our north kicks out of the way. There's that one out in the Pacific, and as that gets closer tomorrow, it will start to influence that cooler air for the region to our north, take its rain with it. This far south, just maybe some high thin clouds, a little bit more of a breeze keeps us from getting too hot, and then that's out of here Wednesday into Thursday, and a new ridge of high pressure will start pushing in from Texas. That just means sunshine the rest of the week and slow warming. So today is the bottom of it at 92, then tomorrow 94. By Wednesday, 96 is pretty average, then 98, 101. Saturday looks to be the hottest at 103, and with that building ridge of high pressure from Texas, it may drag in a little bit of moisture in the form of clouds, maybe a slight bit of humidity from a system that's trying to develop as a tropical depression in the Gulf of Mexico. But I think for us, it just may be some cloud cover, more so for the Kern Desert than anybody else. We're going to feel hot then for the weekend ahead and possibly next week as well. This would be our second heat wave for the season if it comes together, but our forecasts have had a couple days of 100s that ended up being 98, 99. So I hope that's the case again, but 103 on Saturday tends to be a pretty promising forecast. There will be a hot one out there. In the Kern River Valley, upper 80s today and tomorrow, some 90s to end the week. By Saturday, 99, maybe 100. Tehachapi, Fraser Park, upper 70s today, 80s after that, 90s by Saturday. So we're climbing, but we're not back on track for average until Wednesday and Thursday.
It's amazing that even in the beginning of July, almost mid-July, we're below average for a couple days.
Yes.
Wow, incredible. Thanks, Elena.
We're remaining grateful. Coming up next, if you're afraid of heights, we'll give you a look at how one man scaled over 1,000 feet without a harness. Yikes. Stay with us. A man scaled the EU's tallest building this morning, and get this, he did it without a harness. It was captured on eyewitness video. The death-defying stunt on London's 1,017-foot Shard Tower, not surprisingly, is not allowed. Police got calls about the man around 5:15 a.m. local time. Emergency services got to him and say that he is okay, though. Police say he wasn't arrested.
Oh. Well, if you like looking at cute pictures of animals all day, this work of art is going to win you over. It's a rice paddy in Chengdu City, which is in China's Sichuan province. The stunning art is created by teams of agriculture experts who cultivate different strains of rice, which grow into different colors and heights. The seedlings are then strategically planted to create a pattern once the rice grows. Visitors are welcome to walk in it and have the treat of seeing an aerial view. This is one of the areas in China known for sightseeing agriculture to boost the local economy.
Just beautiful.
It is so pretty. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's get a final check of your forecast. If you're heading to lunch outside, it's kind of the perfect day to do that.
It's really nice. Low 80s right now, mid 80s in the noon hour. Then some 90s after that. Okay, it's July. We'll take some 90s because it's better than the 100s.
True.
So with this, you see plenty of sunshine. We could have some high thin clouds coming through today. More so tomorrow as another system comes on shore. That just keeps those westerly winds moving. So 82 right now in Bakersfield. Some low 80s out on the west side. Still up in the 70s for those mountain locations. Isn't that beautiful? Top of Breckenridge at 60 at this hour. Pine Mountain Club 65. So a look ahead shows us that 92 for today, 94 tomorrow in Bakersfield is below average. Pretty average Wednesday into Thursday, then 100s after that. This long range forecast is calling for us to get hotter this weekend, kind of level out early next week. But again, you see by next Wednesday, that average high is 98. So to be at 101, it's only 3 degrees above average.
Right.
We know we have to deal with some 100s July and August. We've only had 8 so far.
It's incredible. And you have said this before. I think the best part about this cooling forecast is the better air quality that we're seeing too. Yeah, so nice. Thanks, Elena.
All right, thanks for joining us here at 11. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.